If you've just tuned in, I'm chatting to Peter Terry, who's reviewing 3 books for us today. And the next book is what, Peter?
The Last Horseman by David Gilman.
Right.
This is a book that I would have plucked immediately from the shelves because on the cover it says South Africa 1900, and I'm immediately
drawn to that.
a customer because I know it's about the World War.
Yeah.
And it's this particular book it's very much an adventure story, action, sudden death, a well-structured plot, and to give Mr. Gilman high praise from me, I think he's right up there with Robert Goddard in terms of telling an adventure story. I mean, it's lots of plot twists. Lots of characters, well-drawn characters, lots of action, I really enjoyed it. What makes it particularly interesting and special and unusual, I guess, is that what he concentrates on particularly is it's Irishman against Irishman. It begins in Dublin, which was quite interesting. How by chance I picked up 2 books that were about kind of Ireland and the Irish, and of course in the Boer War there were Irish soldiers fighting for the British, and there were lots of anti-British Irishmen who were fighting on the side of the Boers. So it sets up a very interesting and in a certain sense a metaphorical conflict between 2 people or 2 sets of people from the same background and the same origin.
So your enemy's enemy is your friend, sort of.
Yes, and your brother is your enemy, and your friend is somebody else's enemy.
Were there Irishmen who knew each other, who were fighting against each other on opposite sides?
Look, I'm sure there were. There must have been, and may very well have been, people from the same family who ended up in the same battle against each other. These kinds of things do happen.
Yes.
This obviously is fiction. But and in this case, it's not really about family members fighting against each other, but it's about the broader historical thing of Ireland's battle for independence, I guess, which played out to some extent during the Boer War. So like many conflicts, it's about an internecine nature of the way the war was fought. It started off, I was a little bit concerned because every noun had its own adjective. It felt a little bit overwrought, a little bit over egging the pudding. Yes. But once that had settled down, and once the characters had been established, and of course the good guys are very good and the bad guys are very bad. Once that got going and the setup was finished, it became more and more interesting as the story developed and moved from Ireland obviously into South Africa. And yes, good triumphs over evil, but it's a very powerful book, very fast-paced, very interesting, particularly for anybody who is interested in the Boer War. Yes. And although he takes liberties, I think, with some of the chronology of the war, anybody who doesn't know about the Anglo-Boer War, I think will get a very strong sense of what that war was like, and what it was like for the British to come and fight in South Africa. It's just almost two planets, very
different.
For a real thriller, anybody who's interested in the Boer War, for a real thriller, they should read Thomas Pakenham's The Boer War. I've read it 3 or 4 times, and every time I read it, I'm sort of left breathless.
It is brilliant. It is brilliantly written. Gosh, that was quite a time ago, wasn't it?
That came out in the late 70s, yes. Yeah. And I don't think there's been a better book about the Boer War since then.
Yes.
But Gilman, I really do believe, is a worthy competitor in the yarn spinning event at the Olympics. He really does tell a good story very well, and it's a great read.
Right, that's The Last Horseman. David Gilman is the author, and it's published by...
My copy was published by Head of Zeus.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
There'll be a local publisher, but that's basically what's on the book.
But do look out for it, David Gilman, The Last Horseman.
Last book.